Right, we are about to start filming a project that has been painstaking to say the least. We've wanted to do this for so long. We've already had one attempt which failed, and that's quite a common theme. Underwater filming is far more difficult than normal filming, but it's something we have wanted to do for so long. And it is very much starting to feel like we are on the cusp of achieving something. Everything's in place, we just need to make it happen. We are at the beautiful Ashbury Fisheries, and this lake is somewhere I fished around a decade ago, so it's got a bit of a personal thing for me here. There's big carp in here, there's some lovely carp in here. It's a beautiful lake, it's crystal clear at the moment, and it should be the perfect setting for our, hopefully will be our first underwater film. But this is the easy bit. The hard bit is still to come, but we can only try our best, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Right, I'm stood in the entrance to a small bay. It's called the Little Bay, and this area, for as long as I can remember, has always been an area the carp favour. These days there is a rope across the middle of it which gives the fish sanctuary at the bottom end of the bay. Originally you could fish from there, there's snags, you could angle for them in that area, now you can't. So it's a bit of a safe haven, and we're going to go as far down as we can. There's a spot there, it's been cleaned off by fish, and that's the hard bit a lot of the time, is getting a spot that the fish want to eat on. Luckily for us, that's already there, and we just need to get our camera into position. We've got fish traffic because they come into this bay all the time. In fact, there's fish here now, but we need to put our camera on the spot, start feeding the spot, and hopefully build the fish's confidence up with the camera in position, because it is alien to them. And even when I put the camera in my pond at home, the fish are so aware that it is there, and that could cause us problems. So the spot's there, the bay is here, the carp are here, the camera is not in position yet, and today that's what we're going to be doing. Getting the camera out there, getting bait on the spot, and getting everything prepped for next week when the fishing will begin. So it's going to be tough, it's going to be graft, but I can't wait to get stuck in, so let's do it. To begin with, we did try the camera on a different spot. Unfortunately, the fish didn't feed there. The ducks did, but with that in mind, the first thing to do was get the camera out of the water and then think about repositioning it. We'd been given permission to use the boat, so I got the camera, jumped in the boat, pulled myself out using the rope until I was above the spot, and looking down onto the spot, it was lovely, clear, but there was a bit of a shelf, so you have to bear in mind the angle the camera's going to sit at. So it took a little bit of messing around to get it exactly where we wanted it, into position, and what looked like was going to be right. Perfect. Happy days. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I got the old rope to hang on to. That should be absolutely perfect. To make sure of that, I then went out, I marked the rope. Now, I'm going to be poling down to the spot, so I marked the rope with a bit of carrier bag, gives me a reference point, something to aim at. And then once that was in place, I started donking around with a rig. And once the rig was down there, we were able to properly look at what sort of leeway we've got within the spot. What's too close, what's too far. We needed to get it into position so that where I'm dropping the rig isn't too close to the camera, but isn't too far away at the same time. That was a bit of a mess about. It took a little while, the rain started, as it was always going to, but eventually we were in a position where the camera was in position, firmly in place. We decided that the rig could sit within a certain area which suited and looked good on screen. It was time to get back to the bank and think about knocking up some bait. And as I stand here now, that is pretty much the last of my tasks for the day. Once the bait's in, it'll be time to let it rest, see what happens. For the first bait up, I wanted to introduce a mixture of different baits, and first into the bucket was a mixture of large particles, things like maples and maize. Next I wanted to add some pellet, and the pellet I was adding is very, very small, 2 or 3 mil. It's called Edge Pellet from Baitworks, and it's something I've used over the last 6 months to a year or so, so I've got confidence in that. Once that's into the bucket, give it a little mix up just to get the ratios right. I'm working on about 60-70% particle to 30-40% pellet. And then time to add some boilies. Now, I always fish with a mixture of different boilies, and first into the bucket was Royal Marine in 18mm. But rather than just add whole boilies, I wanted to break some up. So using my fingers and thumbs, just break the boilies in half. It gives you a variation of different sizes. You get the little bits of crumb break off, that kind of thing. Then add some whole boilies once I've done that, and then add the second boilie, which is the Atlantic Heat, and once again, break the boilies in half. They're a little bit frozen, so I had to use my mouth at times to actually get them halved. Get them into the bucket, and then once again, add a few holes to the mix as well. Give the whole lot a good mix up, and then add some liquid fish. Now, it absolutely stinks. It's dark in colour, and I've used it a lot over the last few years. Loads of confidence in that. A really smelly liquid that's going to seep into the bottom and up into the water column. You know, loads of attraction packed in that. Give it a good mix around, and then last but not least, add some hemp. I love using hemp. I use it all the time. It's so oily, carp love it. You know, it's just an all-time great, and no mix is complete without that as far as I'm concerned. So hemp into the bucket, give the whole lot a good mix up, and we're ready to go. Okay, time to put the bait in the water now. I've got a mixture of bait, as I said. I want the little items like the pellet, the liquid, all that sort of to break down into the bottom. Loads of attraction. We want to get this spot as clean as possible before the rig goes on it, because we don't want it to murk up too much. So these small particles, that's what they're for, and then the bigger food items like boilies, that's what I'm going to fish with at the time. It's a clay lake bed, so we could get a few issues with it murking up. Hopefully we won't. It will just depend on how much bait and the type of bait that we fish over. But the baiting part of it, this is all about getting the spot clean. And this concoction here will do just that perfectly. So let's get it in the water. Right, we are done. Camera in position, bait on the spot. The rest is out of our hands. But this is as close as we have ever been to our underwater film we've dreamed of. And now it will be anticipation over the next few days. I'm going to keep coming back down. I will check the spot and we'll see what happens. Top it up if needs be. And then on Monday, which is in 5 days' time, I'm here to fish for 3 days. And I cannot bloody wait. Let me tell you that. Right, home time. Don't fall in. Right, we're back in situ. It's been 2 days since we baited. We're now firing up the camera to see if the bait has gone. Hopefully it has. I've just seen 2 fish crews over the spot. They were up in the water, but fish traffic, my guess is they've eaten it. Or at least I'm hoping they have anyway. Believe it or not, I can actually see the camera on the bottom. That's the sort of clarity we've got here, so everything's prime. You can probably see the spot glowing there. Just pray there's no bait. The old cockerel. There we go, there's a fish. Probably just lost focus there, but I'm sure you saw him. Whoa, there's some more. So they're about. So in theory, that is about as much as we could have hoped for, really. We've been here 5 minutes. We've seen 5 carp, maybe 6, drift right over the spot. You know, the bait's been in there 2 days. Surely they've eaten it. Exciting times. We shall see. We shall see. Fingers crossed. Right, this is the moment of truth. He's fired up the camera.
Wait, sort of bait there.
Still bait there? How much?
It's been moved about, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah. The body's all like exposed now, but...
Let's have a look. Let me have a look. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. There is still bait there. Not as much as I would have thought. I've certainly put a lot more in than that, so something's been eating it. I did put a lot of bait there, you know, so we'll see. Oh my God, literally seconds ago, I stopped recording, the fish has come straight in and dropped down on the back of the spot. Yes! Well, there we go, people. That is our first sighting of a carp eating. Like I just said, you know, it's a lot less bait than what we put there. I think there's another one coming in the background. Bit of like squeaky bum time then, we know, like we're thinking, oh, was it birds that have cleaned it? But like, I put a lot of bait on that spot and there ain't a great deal left, really, is there? You know, 2 days. That's a lot of bait on a margin spot as well, you know, so. Oh, so what's that?
Towel in the corner.
Yeah, there's a fish right near the camera. Hang on, let's watch this again. Just see some...
Shadows coming in here.
Yeah, did you see a shadow like coming in over the spot? Look at all the life, look at the Daphnia, look. That Daphnia must be attracted to all that food. Maybe it's not, but look at it all. Swarming with Daphnia it is. Well, Bridger, I don't think we could have hoped for more than that.
It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
In fact, I'm actually glad there's bait left there because it means 2 things. We've actually been able to see a fish come down and eat.
It's going to happen, I think.
It's going to happen. Happy days!
Watch this all day.
Yeah. Tench. We don't want that. He can f*** off. Proper activity though, this. Right, we are happy, boys. We're going to leave it as it is. There's enough bait on the spot. I don't want to overdo it. I'd rather let them completely polish it down to nothing and then maybe come back on Sunday, which is in another 2 days' time, and put a little bit in, you know, the day before we're going to come down, which is the Monday. So that's a lot of bait, you know. The amount of bait I put on that spot is way more than I would put on if I was going to fish that spot 2 days after baiting. I would never put that much on it, you know. So I've overloaded it for a reason, and there is still bait there, but you know, the carp are clearly coming in and eating, as are the tench and whatnot, and probably a few birds as well. So we're going to leave it, go home, and I'll come back on Sunday, check it once again, and then if there's no bait there, probably put a bit more in. I don't really want any bait on the spot come Monday when I actually fish. So happy days, buzzing. We're getting close. Right, we're back again. We're seeing fish regularly now, good fish and all. So there's all the bait is now gone, and we've got carp coming right over the spot. They're looking for bait. One actually just dropped down. He didn't properly feed. There's no bait there. I'm convinced of that. The spot has been smashed to bits. You can just tell the difference. You know, looks like they've had a right good go. Loads of stones have been dug up. It's perfect. The only there's a carp coming in the background now, I think, or a tench. No, it's a carp. No, it's a tench. The only slight problem we've got is that the camera seems to be slightly dirtying up now, where it's been in the water a little while. I think there's a little bit of like shit appearing over the lens, so I'm gonna have to try and get rid of that at some point. I can't really do it today because this guy's fishing and I probably need the boat, so don't know. I have to play it by ear. But yeah, all good signs. It's game on, I think. And tomorrow morning we turn up to fish. Right, I'm going to put a bit of bait in. I've just knocked this up. I'm not going to put a lot in, just a bit. And it's a mixture of broken boilies hemp and a little bit of pellet. As of tomorrow, probably just fish boilie and maybe a tiny bit of hemp. But I'm starting to increase the amount of large food items now, because as I mentioned before, it's a clay bottom. So, don't want to get it murked up too much, but a nice little mix of stuff, just to give them some more food, because I feel like they want more. The day is finally here, and I cannot describe quite how good it feels. I've already mentioned it, but it's been a bit of a process to get to this stage, but we are fishing today, the camera's in position, and as far as I'm concerned, everything is rocking and ready to go. We're just driving along the lake now. It's a beautiful morning, great temperatures this week, the fish have been there. As it stands, it feels like things are going smoothly, or at least have gone as smoothly as we could hope for. The rest will be determined by what happens when we're fishing. We can do no more than what we have done. But I cannot wait to get my rods out, so that's the mission now. Set everything up and try and catch a carp. And if you'd like to watch the rest of this film, you will need to be a Sepography member. And to do so, you can head over to www.sepography.co.uk, where you will find not just this underwater film, but over 700 other videos as well. We are about to start filming a project that has been painstaking, to say the least. We've wanted to do this for so long. Camera in position, bait on the spot. The rest is out of our hands. I'm gonna catch that. Straight away, look, first rig it's gonna have. No, got him. Spat me up.
Yes, he's reset it better.
Yeah, get out. They're turning up now, they're looking for food. So my plan is put this rig in position and then bait it again. And with a bright hook bait, I can afford to have lots of bait on the spot. Better ones, mate. Look, 4 of them, 5 of them. Look, oh my God, 6 of them. Oh, there's just loads of them. Oh, he spat me out again. He spat it out again, the tench. I'm not a tench fisherman. So until I start getting spat out by a carp, nothing to worry about. Look, look, he wants it, he wants it, he wants it, he wants it, he wants it. Has he got it? What's he doing? Yes, you've got it. Have I got him? Yes, yes, I got him.